Hi everyone, this is Brave Soul here with my guest Peter. We're both from the UK. This is a new channel and this is just my second video, and the topic is if you can't help others, at least do no harm. And we're just going to talk about what does that mean to us, and I'm going to let Pete start off, okay? So what does that mean to you, Pete, when you hear the phrase, if you can't help, at least do no harm?
Well, I think that's just part of being in a society with other people. It's just something that you would expect of everyone, so you should do it yourself.
Yeah. Well, in an ideal world, yes, but we don't live in an ideal society. So as much as people will lie and say, of course I don't do any harm to others, let's delve deeper into what we know to be true.
Well, I think it's one of those things that just everybody, if you ask them the question, they'd say obviously yes.
Yeah.
But that's not, not necessarily true with a lot of people, but...
Mm-hmm. So what's your personal feeling of if someone was so, I don't know, in love with you, you know, you're a straight male, so a girl has made it clear that I'll do anything for you, literally anything, rob a bank, anything, and would you see that as, wow, I have total control and power over this person, they are willingly giving me their power? How are you going to react to that?
I don't know.
Well, are you a person who would take advantage of that, or are you someone who would just appreciate that?
Well, no, I wouldn't take advantage of it. I'd just say, well, you don't need to do anything like that, so I don't want anybody doing anything crazy for me, so I wouldn't want to take advantage of it.
Yeah, see, I'm the same. My natural state is to help others, to protect others. Like when I've had a lot of horrible things done to me by people I trusted, and I really did want to turn on the world. I was like, you know, F this world, I'm not helping anyone ever again. And when I actually went out of my way not to help others, not to harm them, but just I saw someone needed help, and I had to force myself to not help them. And then when I did that, I went home and was really sad about it. Like, wow, you really let this sick world turn you into something you hate. Don't do that again. And I kind of snapped out of it. But it only happened like twice where I kind of someone clearly needed my help and I knew I could help them. But because of what had been done to me, I turned away. But then when I got home, I felt so guilty, and I worried that what happened to that person? Maybe God sent me to be their help and I didn't help them. So yeah, so what do you, carry on, Pete. Let's hear the hamster, put him on the wheel.
Yeah,
get that brain juice going, come on.
I don't know. I think generally if I can see somebody needs help, I'd help them. So,
but what kind of help are you talking about? Like if someone's getting their ass beat in the street, that's not the kind, like, that's not the kind of help you're talking about. If an old lady needs her bags carried, or what are you talking about?
I don't know. It depends on what it is and what I see. So if
all right, for example, you see a pregnant lady pushing a pram and she needs help carrying it up the stairs. Are you going to walk past and be like, get out of my way, or what are you going to do?
Well, I'd ask if she needed any help, and I'd probably give her a hand pulling, like, I don't know, if you've got to try and get it up some steps, yeah, I'd ask if you...
Okay, and are you opening doors? Are you giving your seat up for the old lady on the bus? Are you like that?
Yeah, I'd do that.
Okay, but are you doing, so Pete said he would do that, but are you doing that out of obligation because you feel bad if you don't, or do you genuinely care?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think, because I wouldn't even think about it that much, I actually probably am doing it out of obligation.
Right, actually. Because people are watching and you want to be seen as good. Is that
no, it's like, it's more, no, that's not what I meant, I suppose. But what I mean is, I wouldn't think, oh, that person needs a seat. It's like an automatic thing ingrained in me that you would give up your seat for an old person on the bus.
You know what I mean? What if she was Hitler's mum? No seat for you.
No, I would then chuck her off the bus. Obviously.
No, but like seriously, like I feel genuine pleasure in helping others. So when I'm on the bus, when I see an older person, an elder of any race, I
Yeah, I
would
suppose
jump
so.
up and say, "Would you like my seat?" And sometimes they don't even want the seat, but they'd be like, "Oh no, you're all right," and I'll be like, "Are you sure?" And I'm, like to me, I genuinely care. It's not a duty thing. It's like when I'm that old, I would appreciate if a young person gave up their seat for me. But even if you're not old, if I just see you're on crutches, you
Yeah.
could be my age and you're on crutches, and I'll be like, oh my God, are you all right? Like, or I'll stand. Sometimes I will be on the bus and I'll stand behind someone who, say, if they got on the bus and had a Zimmer frame or crutches, and I'll stand behind so that if they fall back, I can catch them. Like that's my natural state, to really genuinely feel worried about others, and they probably don't even need or want your help all the time. Like they probably feel like, I'm independent, I don't need anyone. But yeah, so what else do you think would come under that title of, if you can't do if you can't help, at least don't do any harm? So
Okay.
look into it deeper. Like, if, say, something terrible is going on in front of your eyes, like, let me think. I don't know now. I stumped
I don't know.
myself.
I was gonna, because I don't know. I think there's not many situations where that would come in. Like, there's not many situations I would even think about doing harm. So it's not, it's not something I even would think about. So say like something less important, like you see some people looking at a map and they look really confused. I'd go up to them and ask them if they're lost. That's the kind of
Right.
thing, I'd do that. But um, that's not what you mean, though, is it?
Yeah,
That's less what you mean.
it's kind of more complicated than it sounds. Like, so for instance, I think in France there's a law, Good Samaritan law, which means that if you witness a crime and you don't offer assistance, you can then be arrested for not offering reasonable assistance to a person. You don't have to know them, they don't have to be, your family or someone you know. If I witness, apparently this is allegedly what this law is, if I witness a mugging and I don't try and intervene, even though it could put my life in danger, I can be called up as deliberately allowing harm, which I think is not fair, because that's, if I see something happening, something awful happening in front of me, and I call the police, but they didn't know I was the one that called the police, but I still offered the help I could. I mean, I'm the kind of person who, some people might call it brave and some might call it stupid, but I would charge in and try and help and forget that, oh, I might get stabbed, I might get shot. It would just be my first thought is to run to save the victim. But then, that's why my nickname's Brave. But it's like, at the same time, people might say, well, isn't that stupidity that you put yourself at risk? And I think, well, that's who I am. I can't change. I'm not going to change, and I don't want to change. If I will put myself at risk to save another innocent soul, that's what being pure of heart is, in my opinion. If you're pure of heart, it doesn't enter your mind. Like, you'll take a bullet for someone else, because you're pure of heart. If I, even if, like, say if someone, kidnap me and a child, in a bank hostage situation, and I would say, take me. If you're going to kill someone, let the child go, take me instead. You know what I mean? Like, I would lay down my life for others. That's just who I am, and I'm not telling other people to be this way, and I'm not criticizing you and saying you're not pure of heart if you can't do those things, because you might have kids and family and other stuff that flashes in your mind, and you think, well, if I get stabbed tonight, my kids have no dad, or my wife has no husband, or vice versa, whatever. So yeah, so it's complex. That's why we're discussing it. So what do you think about that, Pete? Like, if you were in some situation where it was, a bank, I don't know, a bank heist, and they took you as a hostage and a child as a hostage, but it's not your child, but would you be too scared to put your life at risk for another?
Don't know. I think I probably. I mean,
Be honest.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think I would.
What about your family then?
No.
You
No, chuck them
what? You won't take a bullet for your family? What the hell?
No, I love my family.
Okay. No, well, tell us the truth then. Would you take a bullet for your family? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was thinking, like, in like a situation like that, I would be the kind of person who try to, like, be reasoning, like, like.
You'd be like, Mom, I need a human shield.
No,
your mom's like, what?
I'd be like trying to. I'd probably be the person who gets shot for like.
The robber will be like, you talk too much.
Yes,
Bang!
yeah. I'd be that kind of person. I'd be like, well, I think you'd be better off if you, well, you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
because actually, my whenever I'm in a situation like that, my first instinct is to try to de-escalate a situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would be attempting to reason with people, even in situations where you shouldn't be trying to reason with people.
But wait, you know the peacemaker usually gets shot, right? Or usually gets stabbed.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm surprised I've made it this far.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, is that all we get?
Yeah, that's all you get from me.
We need a bit more English. Let me think. So, all right, let's talk about. You've got some family, you know, who are from Ireland. You don't know them. You grew up English. But how do you feel about? And this is a little bit deep, so trigger warning to anyone who's Irish. We're going to talk a little bit about the troubles in Ireland, you know, respectfully. When you think about how the English was sent to Ireland to intervene in things that were going on between the Catholics and the Protestants, how do you feel you would have reacted if you had to, you know, been there and you saw, like, would you have been able to not take sides, or like, let's see what you feel.
I've got absolutely no idea, because me as I am now, I would try not to take any side on it. But if I was there, then I would have grown up differently, so I would be a different person, so I might be different, you know? It's a very hard thing to answer, but me the way I am now, but that's somebody who's grown up in England in a place that wasn't really there wasn't particularly dangerous or anything like that. I would be someone who wouldn't take sides on it.
Right, because I had a friend who was from Belfast, and he told me a lot about what he witnessed growing up, and his family were Protestant, and he said at 7 years old, he witnessed a Catholic guy get shot right in front of him, and he wanted to run and help that guy, and his dad grabbed him and said, he's a Catholic, we don't help them. And he felt so shocked and so hurt and confused and didn't understand why. He said, but we're all Irish. And he was like, we don't help those people, you know. And he said it always stuck with him and it always bothered him. And but yet when he came to England to live, and he met other Irish people, and they would just stick together, and it wouldn't matter that they were Catholic or Protestant, because they were in a new place where they were being discriminated against. Sometimes people discriminated against the Irish, which is wrong. And he said that it's so weird, like when I met other Irish people who, if we were in Ireland, we would never be allowed to speak, or we wouldn't speak, we would hate each other just on sight, just knowing the other was a different religion. And so I think it's super weird, like human beings are so complicated, or they make life so complicated. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
100%. 1,000,000%. Like, why do human beings make things so complicated? I was saying this to you the other day, weren't I said, look at how in Ireland the majority are white with the same DNA, you know, Irish background DNA, and yet they will find a reason to hate. And not just them, I'm talking about humans
all over the place.
All over the place, what Pete just said. And what I found is that, look back in history, if it's not the rich hating the poor, if it's not the men hating the women, or vice versa, if it's not the adults hating the kids, if it's not, you know, I
So
don't
she
know.
was hating the Jews.
Yeah, like people of different religions hating each other, everyone. It's just, like when it's not race, it's gender. When it's not gender, it's class. When it's not class, it's, ooh, you talk a bit different to me. It's so stupid. Like if it's not that, it's hair color, it's eye color, it's you're thin, I'm fat, vice versa. There's always some weird urge to hate others. What is that? Like, do you want to elaborate on that a bit? Like, why do you think humans make things so complicated?
It's tribalism, isn't it? So it's like, I think it must be coming from like a like lower in the psyche, isn't it? It's like people group together,
Yeah.
and the best way to group together is by finding somebody who's not the same,
Right. Yeah.
and it makes the group stronger by being against the other.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, I'm not
No,
a
that makes
psychologist,
sense.
but I think,
Keep going.
but that's what that's what I think. So there's always like fear of people, of outsiders encroaching on
Yeah.
your patch or whatever, so I think it all comes down to that eventually.
Yeah.
If people do things in a different way, they look different, so they're different, and it's like it's like in America at the moment, there's huge amounts of people who are massively anti-immigration,
Right.
and that's all down to they think that the immigrants are there to push them out,
Right.
even though immigration, the number of immigrants they're talking about is a tiny proportion, and it's like, but it's just the fear that they're going to be losing out, they're losing their country.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the same with everything. It's always been the same. So, or it's either people have got too much power, people are taking over, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And another thing, while you're talking, it reminded me of the fact that a lot of those people who are afraid of immigrants coming in, their parents were immigrants, their great 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 whatever grandparents were immigrants. So imagine what they went through when they came over, the racism, the violence towards them. Like, it's like you've got to be careful to not become the thing you hate. You would have hated someone to treat your family that way. And I'm not saying immigration is a straight cut and dry issue, so I can't speak on all of it. I'm just saying that it's a fact that majority of people in a lot of these places that were colonized by the British or the French or the Spanish, you've been in that country for generations, but don't forget your ancestors were colonizers and bad people and did terrible things to people who were originally First Nation people on the land first for thousands of years. You know what I mean? So when those Native Americans or those indigenous people, Maori, whoever, Aborigines, said, hello, excuse me, we were here first and you're immigrants, can you either like live in peace with us or go away? And when those ancestors of yours slaughtered those people and took the land, you have to remember those things. It's not, you have to remember the unpleasant truth, and now obviously I can't talk for everyone's ancestors. I'm just saying that there's a lot of history people try to whitewash and overlook, and they just want to say, well, forget the history, we're living now, I don't have to care that my great 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 granddad was a colonialist person who killed a load of people and took their land. I don't have to care about that. Well, you should. If you're a good person of good heart, you should look into history and you should care about the terrible things that have been done and condone it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, so carry on, Pete. That was very good. I enjoyed what you're saying.
I don't know if I've got any more.
No, we'll pump you for more. Like, you can't leave. I've locked the door. I took the key. There's no windows in this room.
I can see a window right there.
No, there's bars on that window.
Oh, damn, there are.
But yeah, me and Pete, we're just sitting on the sofa. We got the reclining bit up and we're relaxing, and we're in the UK, and yeah, so we welcome everyone on this channel. If you're Black, white, Chinese, Indian, mix, whatever, Native American, Maori, whoever you are so welcome here. And in the future, when I go live and stuff, and then I have people talking, everyone is welcome to give their opinion respectfully, and obviously say things that are worth hearing. Don't be saying no crazy stuff now. Like, we actually want to have serious conversations. So don't be writing no dumb comments that aren't worth reading, because I'll just delete them. Okay? Yeah. So what do you think, Pete, about look back into the past, like Genghis Khan and the Romans and Alexander the Great and things like that? Because I love history, and so does Pete, but I love history more. And I research these things extensively, many different cultures, many different events that have happened in history. And when I look back, I think, why were they not able to not do any harm? Why was it a almost like a prerequisite to their reign of their kingship or whatever, to do harm, to subjugate someone, to take land, conquer? What was the drive? Why do human beings have this brutality drive? Like, go back even further to caveman days. Wasn't it just to survive, to hunt and gather food to survive? And why, like even when I said to Pete, like, isn't it weird how humans used to create even when they didn't need to create? The cavemans drew things on the walls. Why? You didn't need that to live. It's so strange. Like, it's cool that we can look back and see these things, but I wonder what is it about the human brain, the human psyche, that forces us to not just survive and get along in a way that enables us all to survive? Why is it survival of the fittest, or why is it I must be the oppressed or the oppressor? Like, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I think that are we basically quite a violent species, probably, and
Yeah, but
there's like,
what is that from? Is that bred? Is that
Oh, yeah,
environment?
sorry,
Are we naturally insane? Like, what do you think that comes from?
which question am I answering here? 'Cause
Multiple.
You asked like 3 or 4 questions.
Well, all right.
So,
First question is, are humans inherently violent, or are they bred to be violent? And if so, why are we breeding people to be more violent than good?
I don't know. I think
Stop saying you don't know. Think about it and answer. Gosh.
I don't know. I think we've just always have been though. Like you're saying that it goes back into history.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like you've got one civilization and next door is another civilization. Why can't they just be happy where they are?
Yeah.
I think does it just come down to, I don't know, just wanting what the others have?
So it's jealousy.
Yeah, maybe. I think, yeah.
So wait, let me.
Because it's like
Wait, I'm talking. Sorry. No, I just had a quick point to make. The lust for power and the jealousy that comes with seeing others thrive, is that going back to Cain and Abel, do you think? Do you know the Cain and Abel?
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know.
Okay, well, we won't go religious. Never
no.
mind.
Did they exist? Who knows?
Did they exist? Oh my!
Yeah.
Don't be saying that. People will be cuss you out in the comments.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have brought an atheist into a religious show.
You're not an atheist.
Pretty much.
I'd say you're agnostic.
Same thing.
No, it's not. So is it spiritual, not religious, as me?
Yeah, I'm too skeptical.
All right, never mind about the religious stuff. Move along. So lust. So do you think human beings are willfully lustful for power, for domination over others? Why do you think that is?
I think some people are, and I think some certain people always have been, and then those people become the leaders, like Genghis Khan or Napoleon or Hitler. You know, they're people who have power but will never have enough.
Right.
And so they think they have to expand their empire.
Do you think some of them had mental issues as well, like megalomania, personality disorders?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's like, because like the like the Nazi like world domination just came about, that they had this idea that like Germans were like the
Some kind of chosen people.
the chosen people, and so they needed more space to be able to expand, and so
Yeah, but he had I think he was mental and had some kind of jealousy and insanity, and
but
but
that's the thing I was going to say. So that's what they sort of said, and that's what. But it seemed more to me like you had these couple of people in the center of it all who just wanted more power.
Yeah.
And it's just
and it was a way to piggyback off that person's power to get their power. But anyway, we don't want to talk about that kind of negativity. Let's go on to the other thing we were talking about human nature. How, like, for instance, why do you think men like to dominate women and not lift them up and say you're equal, you bring life, you give birth to kings, so you will be protected at all costs? Some men do protect women, but some abusive men out there really thrive off hating women. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's. I expect it is different for different men. So some it will be down to their upbringing and what they're told as a child and how they were raised as a teenager. Some it's going to be probably bad interactions with women.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people who it is just their culture.
Right.
And then it's just like a bit of everything.
Accepted.
And and so like they'll go their whole life.
And it's expected.
Yeah, it's just the correct way for their people to be, Same, yeah.
Right, so, okay, I'm going to stop this video now just because it's been 27 minutes and I'm going to try and keep these videos like half an hour or less. So thank you everyone for listening. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more things and get more notifications. You need to tap the word all in the little bell icon in order to get all the notifications. And thank you for listening to me and Pete, and have a great day and God bless you all, and we'll add more videos soon. Okay, so take care. Bye. Say bye, Pete.
Bye, Pete.